She was driving in her car alone, I believe, and she saw a bee buzzing around her car, so she pulls over and opens the door and believes that the bee has gone. So she got back in the car and she started driving, and the bee somehow got lodged into her coat and under her arm, and so it stung her, and she went into some type of a reaction to it, and she was able to drive herself to the emergency care, and they gave her the massive doses of epinephrine, or I'm not exactly sure what they do for that type of situation. We nearly lost her, and that would certainly have been a horrific thing for us. And of course, she has an incredible faith, so that part really it's not too much of a concern for us. But we could have been planning a funeral today of her, and rather than her going on with her life today. And that's an example of how Satan had found a way of taking away this precious, wonderful soul from our midst, and yet he was thwarted in his evil plan to put her in take her away in an untimely fashion for her today, for her time not to come yet, obviously, but because she has been saved to serve again, there's going to be many, many times that Satan will wish that he hadn't attempted to mess with one of God's precious children, because that's one thing that God doesn't like, is if you mess with his kids. Sometimes we don't see what God does, but trust me, he doesn't let Satan get away with his precious children, messing with them. I think people need to realize what a joy it is to have God our Father, a gracious God, only wants what's best for his children, and all he asks is that we do as any other parent would like, is that you give him love and respect freely, not coerced. He doesn't want to force anybody into worshiping him, or it's all my free choice. That's what he wants. If you don't want to worship him, that's fine. But it's through worship and admiration of this wonderful God that we have. It's a God of creation and God of restoration and renewal. In our life, we have seasons like we are seeing now in these plants. We went from springtime, now we're getting into the fall season where we'll see the returning with the plants. And we have fall colors in the trees, and then we'll go through the cycle of life. And we have the cycle of life as well in our lives. And time to live, and time to plant, time to reap, and time to die, and then be reborn again through the power of our Creator. So today we're going to be going to another church, and we will meet up with Aaron, Kristen, Jimmy,